Hey Tricia, so for this one, there's a couple of things we need to do to get this y by itself. So the two things that are happening to the y is one, it's negative, and then two, it's being divided by 10. So that's the two things we're going to have to undo. If you wanted to do it in two steps, you totally could. Maybe let me just do the sign first just to kind of show what's happening there. So if I multiply both sides by -1, that takes care of that sign. So now I at least have positive y over 10 equals 5/4. And right here, notice I got negative times negative, so that double negative changes this to a positive. Another way of looking at it is if this side is negative and this side is negative, you can just plus plus, because when you multiply by -1, they'll be positive. Then the next thing we want to do is get rid of this 10 down here. So since it's being divided by 10, our operation that undoes division is multiplication. The same way addition and subtraction go together and undo each other, multiplication and division go together, undo each other. So since this 10 is dividing, I'm going to multiply by both sides by 10. When there's fractions involved, it might be easier to think of it as 10 over 1, because it helps you see that 10 is really 10 over 1, and that the 10 is in the numerator and the 1 is the denominator. So on this side, those 10s would cancel, that's what our goal was. And then over here, I could cancel first or I could multiply first. Let me do the multiply first just to make it a little clearer, I think. So 5 times 10 would be 50, and then 4 times 1 would be 4. And then the only trouble with this answer right here is it's not reduced. So we could reduce out. 2 goes into both 50 and 4. So if I think of this as 2 times 25 and 2 times 2, then I can see I can reduce a 4 out. I think as long as this isn't a repeating decimal, like if it comes up 1/3, you don't want to change that to 0.333 because that would be rounding. But this goes in fine. If you put it in a calculator, you're going to get 12.5. And again, you don't have to do this in two steps. I could have just done negative 10 over 1 right there and cleaned up the signs at the same time. But just to kind of show, in terms of what needed addressing, we had to fix up that sign and that 10. So I fixed up that sign by multiplying both sides by negative, and I fixed up that 10 by multiplying both sides by 10. Hopefully that clears that up. Let me know if you solve the question.